What's up, Red Wings fans? Welcome inside Little Caesars Arena for another edition of the Forecheck. I'm Daniella Bruce alongside Ken. We've made it to the afternoon show, okay? It's just a few more, I guess you have to deal with me for a little while longer is basically what I'm getting at.
Hey, anytime you can talk hockey on a Saturday, it's good, right?
It's great. We're really excited to be back here for some Red Wings hockey, finishing up the 8-game series with the Chicago Blackhawks. This is the last one of the season between these two teams. We'll kick this off talking about some injury news that came out of morning skate. We know that Robbie Fabry and Evgeny Svechnikov will both be out of the lineup tonight. Ken, what this really alludes to is that we're probably going to see the exact same lineup that we saw on Thursday.
Yeah, and why not? It was a good effort by the Red Wings. They used that 11 forward, 7 defenseman set, and it actually worked out to the Red Wings' favor, I thought. But again, why take any chances on some players that are injured, like Svechnikov and Robbie Fabry? When they're ready to go, they're ready to go. But with that said, it's an opportunity right now for the guys who are in the lineup to play and really perform well.
Coach Blashill also did say that it looks like they're short-term injuries. Both of the players were out on the ice at morning skate. They had gray no-contact jerseys on, but it looks like it's only going to be a short-term thing.
And that's a good thing, too. And again, it's all about opportunity right now for especially some of the young guys on this team. And I'm sure that Blashill and management staff are going to look at some of the younger guys like Dennis Cholowski and Gustav Lindstrom and even Rasmussen, who's been playing pretty good, Philip Zadina. So really, it's all about next year right now. The Red Wings aren't going to make the playoffs, but with that said, you want to try and win each and every game. But obviously, the Red Wings management staff wants to really focus in on some of those players and see how they're going to go and play the rest of the way.
Ken, it really is all about next year, and Lucas Raymond was also signed to his 3-year entry-level deal, which means that will start next year for him as well. Very exciting to see the 4th overall pick in 2020 get his official Red Wings deal. I'm really excited to see what the future holds for this kid.
And I think the Red Wing fans are excited too, Daniela, because this has been a long time coming. They want to see some of these youngsters playing in a Red Wing uniform, and I can tell you this, Lucas Raymond's going to get every opportunity next year to try and make this club.
Definitely, and we don't know exactly what training camp will look like. We don't know what prospects tournament will look like, development camp, but we know that Lucas Raymond will be here, and like you said, given every opportunity.
And Mo Sider, don't forget about him.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he's going to get every opportunity to win a spot on the blue line course. So for all you Red Wing fans that are looking right now, I mean, this is an exciting time because you get to see these young players play for the Red Wings or Grand Rapids, then play for the Red Wings, and you get to see them grow right in front of your eyes.
We got to see some new Red Wings on the ice on Thursday night, too, and Richard Panik and Jacob Vrana. It was a great debut for Vrana, so let's take a look back at Thursday night's game, and we'll start off actually in the second period, Ken. It was a 1-0 game in favor of Chicago after the first, but the Red Wings really came out on fire in the second. Troy Stecher finding the back of the net, and it was just a great shot. He hit Lankinen, and it went into the back of the net, but you got to take the shots, right?
You got to make that goaltender work, and the Red Wings have had a hard time beating Lankinen. Coming into that game, his save percentage was .962, so the Red Wings got a gift, but they'll take it, and that seemed to get them jump-started in that second period.
Definitely, and Troy Stecher, it's great to see him find the back of the net. That was his second goal of the season. He's been playing real steady on the blue line for the Red Wings, but great to see him add offensively as well. And then this might be the star moment of the game, Ken. Jacob Vrana in the penalty box. The Red Wings had too many men on the ice, and right out of the box, a nice feed from Lindstrom, and he finds the back of the net.
I like that pass by Lindstrom because he was almost near the goal line when he picked it up, and he saw him. He knew that he was coming out of the box. Vrana came in. What a great shot that was. Picked the upper left-hand corner, and that's a goal scorer's goal by Vrana.
And we saw a lot of ice time from Vrana, about 17 minutes, just under, I believe. So he's definitely finding his way already in one game with the Red Wings. Great to see him gelling well and fitting in with the guys. Later in the game, it was Troy Stecher again. And this time, he makes a little bit more of a finesse play on this. Great pass by Danny DeKeyser, and he tucks that backhander right into the back of the net.
Yeah, beautiful goal right there. But let's talk about the play Nemesnikov made. Little button hook inside the zone, gets it to DeKeyser, and it was a shot-type pass over to Stecher, and looked like he was going to go behind the net, brought it out in front, put the backhand home, and 2 goals. That was the first time, I think, in his career he had a 2-goal game.
Yeah, Troy Stecher's been on fire. In the last 5 games, Ken, he has 2 goals, 2 assists for 4 points, and he's a +2. Here, Michael Rasmussen puts a bow on it with the empty netter, and Adam Erne picking up the assist, now an 8-game point streak for Erne.
And he's been on fire for the Red Wings, and I like looking at the NHL stats sheet, and you see he's got that 8-game point streak, and the Red Wings really haven't had players that had point streaks this year, so good for him, good for Thomas Greiss. I thought he kept the Red Wings in the game, especially in that opening period.
Yeah, it's a 4-1 win for the Red Wings, and like I said, they were down after the first period, so it was nice to see them come out with some fire in the second.
Well, it wasn't a Picasso. I think if you talk to Jeff Blashill, he'd be the first one to tell you that, we didn't play really our best game, but on the other hand, what was really important is they blocked a lot of shots. 24 shot blocks by the Red Wings in that game. Mark Stahl was leading the way. It seemed like every time the Blackhawks had a golden opportunity, Stahl got that big body in front to knock it down or use his stick or his leg. So the Red Wings got into the passing lanes, blocked a lot of shots from the blue line, and those shots never did get through to Greiss. And when they did, Greiss made the saves.
Ken, the Red Wings also had 19 hits on the night, while Chicago only had 9. So they they were more physical than Chicago.
And I've always said that the Red Wings, when they play more physical, and I'm not talking about fighting or anything, but when they're getting into the corners and mixing it up and playing, winning the battles there in the corners, they play a lot better. It seems like they're more involved in the hockey game. So I look for that to happen here tonight as well.
Out-muscled was the word I was looking for. It took me a minute, but I figured it out. Out-muscled.
Well, our reaction times are a little slow today.
Yeah, we're working on it, okay? We're working on it. Maybe by the 5th show of the day, we will have everything down. But Ken, you mentioned Coach Blashill and him talking about how the Red Wings played on Thursday night. He actually addressed the media earlier today and talked about the decisions he made going 11-7.
A little bit based on the guys we have available to us. We've done it a lot of different ways. The last few games we've done it with Larkin's line and then putting people into that line. But then we've also mid-game use that line, maybe put somebody in that line and then use them as double up. You're trying to get certain guys extra ice time. You're trying to complement lines the best you can. Put skill guys on more lines, and you don't want to burn them out through the game. Ultimately, we probably played Jacob Vrana a little bit too much early in the last game, for his first game in a while. Not first game in a while, in his first game with us, and he was got double shifted there quite a bit early, and it's a lot of ice right away. So, I think it can be an effective use of your lineup. It just depends on the makeup and the situation.
Can you hear Coach Blashill talking about the movement you have when you play 11-7? You can kind of change your lines on the fly when you've got that open spot. On the top line, it was Larkin, Zadina, and it fluctuated who was filling in there. Did you like what the Red Wings did on Thursday?
Yeah, I really did, and they've been pretty successful in that 11-7 format. And what I really like about it is it causes some problems, matchup problems with the other team. In this particular case, the Chicago Blackhawks. So I think if you're winning with that type of system, then just go for it. And I don't expect any changes in that regard tonight.
Yeah, and going back to Adam Erne, you can't talk about Adam Erne without talking about the fourth line, who has been the most consistent line for the Red Wings. But Adam Erne, he's consistently finding the back of the net. He's got 5 goals and 3 assists in the last 8 games. So he's on an 8-game point streak right now. And we talk about him constantly. It's almost, we probably sound a little repetitive, but it's awesome to see him doing this, especially when last season people were wondering, why did Steve Yzerman want to acquire Adam Erne?
One of the things I'm seeing in Adam Erne right now, Daniella, is the confidence that he displays out there, and he's doing a lot more things with the puck. We've seen those Savardian spinorama moves that he's made a couple of times, but he's a powerful man, a big, strong body that goes hard to the front of the net. And as I mentioned before, he likes to shoot the puck. So I've always said, make that goaltender work. And I'll tell you what, he's going to get the puck, and he's going to fire it at the goaltender. And a lot of times he's got a good shot. That puck's going to go in the net. And certainly he's been one of the more effective players offensively for the Red Wings over the last couple weeks.
Switching gears and taking a look at tonight's opponent, the Chicago Blackhawks. I don't know how we can word this without, I feel like I'm going to fuel a fire for Patrick Kane and Alex DeBrincat, because they did not play very well on Thursday night. So I think they're going to come out hot tonight. They're definitely going to want to win this game. But Patrick Kane and Alex DeBrincat combined had 1 shot on net. And I think that speaks to the block shots that we talked earlier. The Red Wings had 24 block shots. But Patrick Kane, a -4. He was on the ice for every goal that the Red Wings scored.
That just goes to show you, no matter how good you are in the National Hockey League, you're going to have some bad days. And the key for star players is they bounce back. So I agree with you. I think Kane's going to have a really good game tonight. Hopefully the Red Wings can, shut him down. But again, that's Patrick Kane. He was -4. He's been a terrific hockey player. He's been putting up the points. A little bit surprising. I think he's got 1 goal in his last 10 hockey games. So he's not putting the puck in the net, but he's getting his points out there. But he's a guy that's always dangerous, especially when they're on the power play.
Ken, that goal you're talking about from Patrick Kane is an empty netter. His last full strength goal, I should say 5-on-5 goal came on March 25th, which is a long time ago for Patrick Kane. He's one of the greats, but he does have 40 assists on the season.
Yeah, and there's not many players in the NHL right now with 40 assists. I think he's one of 4 players in the league with that many assists. So he's a dynamic player. He's going to get some votes for the Hart Trophy. I think Connor McDavid's probably the guy that's going to get it. But with that said, he's an outstanding hockey player, always has been since he came in the league.
Yeah, we'll take a look at Duncan Keith, too, who was the Chicago Blackhawks goal scorer on Thursday night. It was a great play by DeBrincat, actually, so he did have one really nice play, a great assist from him. But Duncan Keith now has 2 goals in his past 2 games, so a 2-game goal streak. And he only has 3 goals on the season, so he might be picking it up right now.
Hopefully it won't be again tonight.
Yeah,
that's right.
No.
But you know what? He's an outstanding defenseman, and I know you like him because he went to Michigan State.
That's right,
played
Ken.
over there. And, he was drafted way back in 2002. Hard to believe he's been in the league that long. But, again, he's one of those players that will probably get consideration to be in the Hall of Fame after his playing days are over. But I just think of the Chicago Blackhawks, Danielle, when they were winning the Stanley Cup, and they won 3 of them. I just think back on the blue line, and it was Duncan Keith and Brent Seabrook, and they were like, peanut butter and jelly. They were always together on that blue line. It seemed like they always logged 25 to 30 minutes a game, and not only were they good shutdown defensemen, but they can also chip in offensively as well.
Ken, we'll wrap this thing up talking about goaltending. We know that, well, I guess we don't know, but we assume that Jonathan Bernier is going to be in net for the Red Wings tonight. He was the first to leave after morning skate, and Thomas Greiss obviously getting the start on Thursday. Both of these goaltenders have been dependable all season.
They really have been, and I know when Bernier had he lost 7-1 against the Nashville Predators, really bounced back, and we were talking about Kane. Well, that's what good hockey players do in this league, right? The good ones just forget the game, bounce back, and have a good performance and continue on with those good performances game after game. Both goaltenders, I think, have been playing well for Detroit, Greiss and now Bernier. And if Bernier gets the call and goal, I'm sure he's going to have a good game against the Chicago Blackhawks tonight, just based on how he's been playing since he lost that game 7-1.
It's never a bad problem to have 2 goaltenders that are playing really, really well right now. So Coach Blashill has to make that decision every game.
And you want everybody contributing. And when you have both goaltenders that you can count on, you can throw them in the lineup, then that just makes it a lot more easier for the coaching staff.
And how about the goal support that Thomas Greiss got in Thursday's game? That was great to see.
Well, it wasn't that way in the first period,
Yeah.
but I'm sure Greiss was breathing a little bit easier there when it was 3-1 after 40 minutes of play. But yeah, that's good to see. The Red Wings really didn't score with a lot of times when Greiss was in the net, and I think early in the season he lost a lot of those close hockey games, and when the Red Wings weren't scoring. So yeah, good for Thomas Greiss, good for the Red Wings getting those 3 goals, and never really looked back in that hockey game after they were trailing 1-0.
On the other end of the ice, it looks like we are going to see Malcolm Subban in net for the Blackhawks tonight. We saw Lankinen obviously on Thursday, and Lankinen has been the clear number 1 goaltender for a while now in Chicago, but this looks like it was almost a scheduled maintenance day. He has played a lot in the past 12 games, so Lankinen's getting rest tonight. He's not even dressing.
And keep in mind that the Chicago Blackhawks have 3 consecutive games against the Nashville Predators coming up, and that's the team that they want to catch to make the playoff spot in the Central Division, that 4th and final seed. So I'm sure he's getting the rest, and the coach is telling him, hey, listen, we need you in this Nashville series coming up. It's strange. It's mind-boggling, really, because they played 5 games against each other right now, Nashville and Chicago, and the Blackhawks haven't won a game against them. So the Hawks need some points, not only tonight, but they got to carry that in to the series against the Nashville Predators. Hopefully the Red Wings can continue their win streak and win their 4th straight hockey game tonight.
Ken, what's interesting? We talk about Chicago and them making a playoff push here at the end of the season. I don't think anyone expected them to be close to making a playoff push this season. And what Stan Bowman did at the trade deadline, he made a lot of really good moves. So they're going to make the push, but I don't think anyone in Chicago is going to be super disappointed if they don't make the playoffs this season.
And that's a good point, Danielle. And I think if the Chicago Blackhawks make the playoffs, it's just a feather in their cap, because nobody expected them to really have the goalkeeping that Lankinen has provided for him. And that started early in the season, and he's never really looked back. He's had some really good games in goal for Chicago. So they've been getting the offense, especially from, Kane and Kurashev out there is having a pretty good season. DeBrincat as always. And, they've got a lot of good players on their team. But this is where it's crunch time, and this is where you got to buckle down if you're the Chicago Blackhawks. Try to get as many points as you can.
And we expect them to come out on fire tonight against the Red Wings. Ken, you mentioned that the Wings have been able to string together 3 wins for the first time all season. How are we going to make that 4 tonight?
Play the same way, and they've been playing really good dynamic hockey over the last 3 hockey games. So it all starts with checking and making sure that you don't take any unnecessary unnecessary chances. Play a patient game out there, and when the opportunities come, you got to make sure that you capitalize on those chances.
And we're looking forward to it. Puck drop tonight is at 7 p.m. You can catch the game on Bally Sports Detroit, or of course tune in to 97.1 The Ticket and listen to your very own Ken Kal. If you're watching or listening from home tonight, make sure you download Hockeytown Home Ice on the Home Turf app. It's really cool. It'll be Art Regner, myself, and John O'Grodnick on the big screen tonight, and you'll get to see it on your little screen at home too if you have the app. Pretty cool, right, Ken?
Yeah, really cool. And I like Johnny O. One of
He's a lot
50
of
goal
fun.
scorers, and he knows how to put the puck in the net.
Yes, he does. And he gives some great advice for our young guys on how they should be putting the puck in the net, too. Very fun. And you also have the chance, if you are a Michigan resident, to win 2 tickets to a remaining Red Wings home game. So a lot of good reasons to download Home Turf and tune in to Hockeytown Home Ice. But thank you for tuning in to this edition of the Forecheck. We'll see you next time.